Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Albums. Thanks for spending some time with us here today on your Sunday or wherever you happen to be watching this here. It's early in the morning here on Sunday, and we've got a really special program for you here today. It's a short discography, but it's a band that's well worth your time. They are from Poland. They have been around since 2012. They do have a very strange name, but don't let the name scare you away. The band is called Weedpecker. And like I said, they are from Poland. They formed in 2012. They have 4 albums to their credit. The most recent one came out in 2021. Their first was released, I believe, in 2013. And all 4 of these albums are really, really good. There's no weak album here at all. I would say the first album and the most recent album probably the ones that sound the most different overall in the discography, but all 4 albums are excellent. So putting them in a ranking was kind of difficult, but I think I've managed to do it based on how much I kind of like these albums. And I'll talk a little bit about who's in the band today. So the band was put together by 2 brothers, Piotr Dobry and Bartek Dobry, okay, on guitars and vocals. Bartek has since left the band a couple of years ago. So Piotr, or Peter, however they pronounce it's Peter, but there's a specific Polish pronunciation of it. He also goes by the name of Wyro. He's on guitars and vocals. We've got Dominik Stachira, otherwise known as Domo, on bass. He's been in the band since 2019. Tomek Walczak, otherwise known as Walczak, has been in the band since 2019 on drums. And then on keyboards, another Piotr Sadzka, otherwise known as Seru, on keyboards since 2019. So basically, other than Mr. Dobry, this is a fairly new lineup of the band who have since 2019. So previously in the band, we had Robert Kolakowski, otherwise known as Fallon, the original drummer. Like I said, Bartek also on guitars and vocals. We've got Gesso and Solo, who played bass in the band from 2012 to 2014. Gregors Pawlowski, otherwise known as Mroku, on bass 2014 to 2018. Karol Melak on bass 2018-2019, and Piotr Kuks, drums 2018-2019. So now they're down to at least for the album, I'm not sure going forward touring and things like that, it looks like they're just down to 1 guitar player. So guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards. Okay. So I'm going to rank these in, like I said, the order that I like them, but this is really, really close. There's not much separating a couple of these albums, so my ranking probably could change a little bit a month from now, but I'm going to go with the way it is today. So I'm going to go with number 4. I'm going to go with Weedpecker IV, which is their most recent album. The Stream of Forgotten Thoughts, and they have great artwork on their albums, I must say. This came out in 2012. This is on Stickman Records. This is their second release for Stickman Records. So here, little bit of a different sound from the previous 3 albums, especially the 2 that came before. Still very much, and I haven't really mentioned it much in this video so far, this band is definitely a heavy psych band. Lots of prog in their sound, lots of space rock in their sound, a little bit of kind of like that hard rock, stoner metal thing going on. No doom, this isn't a doom band at all, but they do have a little bit of that stoner rock or metal aesthetic there. But for the most part, this is just really trippy, heavy psych music. Definitely lots of space rock in here, so if you love like really early Pink Floyd and Hawkwind and early Porcupine Tree, you get a lot of that here. If you like more modern bands that kind of do this sort of thing, if you're an Elder fan, you've come to the right place. If you like King Buffalo, you've come to the right place. Very much in line with those type of bands. This album starts off with No Heartbeat Collective, which is kind of like this spacey sci-fi metal. Big metallic riffs, soaring vocals, really great start to the album. Lots of little guitar harmonies and spacey synths and things like that. Really, really well done track. Like I said, a really great start to the album. And this album really kind of flows from start to finish. I think it's meant to be somewhat of like a concept album, so to speak, and it kind of comes across like that. Fire Far Away is up next. That's kind of like a dramatic, spacey rocker. Um, then you got the Stream of Forgotten Thoughts title track. Really dig that one a lot. It's got a lot of dreamy textures, right? Wah wah guitars and things. Really, really cool song. And then you got the Trip Treatment, all right, which is kind of lush. Again, nice use of effects on the guitars. Really nice use of wah wah and, flanger and things like that. So really, really cool track. Really like that one a lot. Then you got for the first time on the album, you get like big riffs because the other albums have like lots of good riffy moments. Here on Big Brain Monsters, you got the big riff showing up, which is just really like a kick-ass stoner rock romp. Excellent guitars, dreamy vocals, really well done. That kind of segues into endless extensions of good vibrations. Another fun track, up-tempo, big beefy riffs, weaving rhythms, nice use of keyboards and synthesizers, and the lead guitar work is just sublime. Really, really beautiful. Really nice stuff there. You get more kind of liquidy guitar tones and things on Unusual Perceptions. All right, another really cool track. This is kind of dreamy psych, but the track builds and builds, and you get like heavier sections later on in the song, which is really cool. I love these kind of slow build tracks. This band does that very, very well. And then you got Symbiotic Nova, which closes out the album. Heavy. Crunchy guitar tones, heavy drumming. You got these haunting vocals, which kind of float over the top of it all. Really, really great song. Might even be my favorite song on the album. I don't know. The whole album is really good, though. It's a different sort of an album for them. Like, I think there's more kind of dreamy space rock on this album, less heavier moments than on the other albums, but there still are some moments here. But I think it makes for a very, very compelling listen. But this one, I would say, if you like more of the prog and heavy psych side of bands like this, I think this might be the one you want to start with. Like if you like Elder's more recent albums, their last couple albums, which are definitely more prog and psych than the early stuff, then I think you may want to start with this album first. Amazing stuff, amazing artwork, really, really good album. Something's got to go at number 4, right? But in no means is being at number 4 anything negative at all. Really good stuff. Number 3, this is almost my number 4, but there's some stuff on here I really love a lot. Weedpecker, the debut album. Again, cool artwork. Thick and chunky. Very much a good chunk of this album is, stoner metal with psych elements, right? You got the first track, which is Berenjena Pipe. Cool, crunchy riffs, big fat grooves. You got Mind Breath. Chugs along nicely, really cool vocal harmonies. The riffs are just absolutely enormous on this particular song, and the guitar solos are very spacey. Kind of get like a little Steve Hillage thing going on at times on some of this stuff, or even some like Hawkwind style guitar soloing. Very, very cool. Then you get Don't Trust Your Elephant, which is the first big lengthy song in their catalog. Total space rock, krautrock, psychedelic, lovely kind of shimmering guitars. Eventually, as the song builds up again, like I mentioned, they do this so well. About midway through the song, the riffs start getting heavier, the arrangement starts picking up a little bit. Screaming wah-wah, saturated guitar solos. Great song. Really good song. Next up is Kraken. Yes, the Kraken. Fast and furious, jagged riffs, lots of feedback, pummeling drums. Chaotic, but really fun song. Sativa Landscapes is up next. Big thunderous riffs and drums, screaming guitar solos, trippy atmosphere, just a really cool, heavy, psychedelic stoner rock song, and one of my favorites on this album. Sativa Landscapes, excellent, really, really good stuff. And then you get Weed Fields. Gee, I wonder what that's all about. Closes out the album in really good fashion here. Floating 1 minute along, drifting around, excellent. Kind of space rock then comes into play. Then you get some thick grooves and some wild guitar explorations. Really good trippy song. Definitely the big space rock through and through song on the album. But this is a really good album. Really strong album. An excellent debut. Easily the heaviest album in their catalog, but there's plenty of psych and prog on this as well. All right, number 1 and 2 were really difficult for me because I think the second and third albums are both so great. So I could go back and forth on this. I originally had my number 2 at number 1, then I switched them. I could easily switch it back again. I'm going to go with Weedpecker II from 2015. Love that album cover as as my number 2 here, their second album. Both the first and second albums were originally independently released. I believe they are all now available on Stickman Records. So yeah, so you can go, if you go to order directly from Stickman, you can get all 4 of their albums. The first 2 have been reissued on Stickman, so you can get them as a set. So here you get Reality Fades, which starts off the album spacey and dreamy. Again, thinking like Saucer Full of Secrets era Pink Floyd. Eventually giving way to some big thunderous riffs, atmospheric vocals. Great start to the album. Reality Fades is so good. Flowering Dimensions is very similar. Again, I need to reiterate, this band does this so well by starting off some songs kind of like dreamy, spacey, psychedelic rock, and then all of a sudden like the big riffs kick in and it just totally does an about face, and sometimes they come back to the dreamy, psychedelic space rock type thing. Very cool the way they kind of fluctuate throughout their songs. Flowering Dimensions is very similar. Again, it takes you on this kind of like floating slow river ride at first, and then all of a sudden these big massive riffs kick in, and then you got, wah-wahs on the guitars, wah-wahs on the bass. It's just wild stuff. Fat Karma's up next. It is indeed fat. The riffs are huge, big crushing bottom end, terrific track. Nothingness reminds me more of, like we've talked a bit on the channel in recent months about, like kind of like desert rock, right? This kind of like stoner rock thing that's was kind of created out in the west coast of the more desert areas of California, Nevada, and Arizona and whatnot, where you have bands who just basically come out and bring out a generator and all their gear and just kind of plug in out in the desert and just play this kind of trippy, noodly music, so to speak. It's kind of like post-rock, right? It's just very even keel, meditative kind of music, right? That's kind of what this is. Just kind of drifts along, and which is it's really nice. Then moves into the Woods, which is kind of like this swirling psychedelic space rock track. Wonderful guitar sounds and textures all throughout this song. Really good. I think prog rock fans will really like Into the Woods. And again, I love how it kind of builds intensity as the song kind of keeps going in. Then you got The Vibe. Great groove. Gets heavy in spots. And then the album finishes with the 9+ minute Already Gone, which has these cool like liquidy guitar lines, real trippy vibe. And if you listen to this, don't be fooled about like maybe 3/4 of the way through the song, maybe 60% of the way through the song, it goes into that little couple minutes of silence, right? A lot of bands were doing this at the time, where you would have this big long epic track to finish out the album, but like you get to the halfway point and you get 2-3 minutes of silence, and you have to kind of sit with that till something that happens towards the end. This one has a really neat ending, so you get like about 2 minutes of silence, then all of a sudden this kind of chaotic, almost like film score-ish, weird psycho sci-fi stuff comes into play. Very interesting, but a very cool track. This is a great album. Really great album. This, under any other circumstances, would be my number 1. However, number 1 is going to be Weedpecker III from 2018. Look at that cover, huh? Great artwork on these. I mean, it's just, yeah. So this originally was their first for Stickman Records when they signed the deal with Stickman. It's only got 5 tracks on it. The opener, Molecule, is a absolutely soaring and stunning psychedelic trip. And a must-hear for fans of more recent Elder and King Buffalo, like I mentioned at the top of the show. I love the way they build up to the heavier section, and the vocals are so dreamy and so well done. Next up, you got Embrace. Great number, faster riffing, space rock solos in the middle section. The way this song is arranged is just a thing of beauty. I love the guitar work on this song. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Probably my favorite song on the album, and one of my favorite songs in the catalog, Embrace. Absolutely so good. Liquid Sky is up next. Really well crafted. I think the synergy between the players is just outstanding. The way the guitars and the drums kind of weave around each other. It's just excellent psychedelic space rock with loads of prog thrown in as well. Really good. From Mars to Mercury is for all you early like Porcupine Tree and Pink Floyd fans. Just gorgeous space rock. So well done. So if you like Pink Floyd's, again, early catalog, maybe up to metal, and if you like those early Sky Moves Sideways and those type of albums from Porcupine Tree, the really early stuff. You check this song out, From Mars to Mercury. Excellent. I mean, the guitars are just so majestic. And then you had this thunderous finale right at the end. Really well done. And then Lazy Boy and the Temple of Wonders ends the album in kind of floaty, dreamy fashion. Reminds me of, weird, as I'm listening to the song, it reminds me of like early Pink Floyd meets like the psychedelic era of the Beatles with a little bit of kind of like Grateful Dead at their noodly best. Really wonderful stuff. Just a killer album. Again, where to start with this band? I would say get all 4 of them, but definitely 2 and 3 for me are easily the best. If you like the heavier side of heavy psych, the first album. If you like more of the proggy side of heavy psych, then get the latest one. This is definitely the most prog rock out of all of them, but can't go wrong with these. Can't go wrong with these. There's nothing here that's less than a 4 out of 5 stars, and amazing artwork across them. Well worth your time. So if Weedpecker is new to you, yeah, I get it. The name is just bizarre, but the music is just absolutely amazing. Really, really good stuff. So go check them out. Like I said, they have a Bandcamp page. You can go on to weedpecker.bandcamp.com. I believe that's what it is. And you can sample all this stuff. I think you can order these from most of them, or you can go right to Stickman Records and order directly from them. All this stuff is available on Amazon and all the usual places you can get your CDs too. They're very easy to find. So go check them out and let us know what you think. And if you're someone like Gary Joyce, I know Gary's been listening to his Weedpecker. That's bizarre. Listening to Weedpecker all week. So I'm curious to see, Gary takes these assignments very seriously, and I'm curious to see how Gary ranks them down below, as well as everybody else, now that you've had some time to hopefully go listen to these albums, and there are only 4. So let us know what you think, and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts, and please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. So thanks in advance for all your support there, and we'll see you real soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Stay tuned. We've got coming up next week on Ranking the Albums, we're going to do a top 10 of the great British, or band from the UK, because are they from Wales? British Wales? I don't remember. They are a UK act. The great progressive rock band Barclay James Harvest. I will be joined by none other than David Gallagher, all the way from Scotland. We are going to be talking about our favorite 10 albums from the Barclay James Harvest catalog. So stay tuned for that coming up a week from today. So till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Don't forget, tomorrow night is Hudson Valley Squares Week. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Squares. We'll be talking about songs we really love from bands we otherwise don't really care much for. So that's what it's all about tomorrow night on the Squares. Till then, I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.